Xero Shoes, and this is our monthly Ask Me Anything, where you can ask me anything. This is a live event. Now, if you're not watching it live, I'll explain more about that in a second. But if you are watching live, what that means is you can put in your questions and comments. You can ask me anything below or left or right, depending on what you're watching this on. And I will see those comments over here on my screen. So when you see me over here, it's because I'm looking at the things that you've typed in, and I will respond to those things. If you're not watching live, you can still put in your comments and questions, and somebody will get back to you as soon as possible with an answer. Before we get started with any questions, etc., I want to make a couple of fun announcements. I got like 3 now that I think of it. Announcement number 1: if you don't know about Born to Run 2, I'm going to tell you about that. But first, I'm going to put on this thing right here so you can see something about that. There we go. So, Born to Run 2, the ultimate training guide. If you know the book Born to Run from Chris McDougall, came out in 2009, created the whole natural movement. And Born to Run 2 is like how to become not just a happier, healthier runner, but a happier, healthier human being. Because there's great information in here about food and about training, of course, and fitness. First of all, it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book with just a lot of incredible things in here. You can get an exclusive autographed copy of Born to Run 2 at a discount on our website. There's the link right there below at xeroshoes.com/born-2-run. I'll put it in the chat too in a moment. And when you buy a copy of Born to Run, you can also get a pair of Xero shoes at 10% off. So order the book and a pair of shoes, you get 10% off a pair of shoes. Let me throw that in the chat really quickly. Actually, I'm going to do this right here. Go to they're born to, if I could type to run and get Born to, God, I can't type it all. This is really embarrassing. Born to Run 2 at a discount. Oops, I got to say it better. Get an exclusive signed copy of Born to Run 2 at a discount and get 10% off a pair of Xero shoes in the same order. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's mentioned in there. I'm going to go back and put another thing in here, which is learn more about us. All right, so second thing I want to announce is that we have something really, really fun. I'm going to say that we are a multiple time survival winner. What that means really is if you watch the show Survivor, the guy who won this most recent season, Mike Gabler, he's a Xero Shoes fan. In fact, was wearing Xero Shoes in a lot of those episodes. And we've got an interview that we're posting with Mike, videos we're posting. We just had a chat with him yesterday. He's could not be more gracious and took some time out after dealing with the fact that he not only won Survivor, but then he donated all his winnings to veterans, which is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So we're going to be talking to Mike about that. All right. Because some questions came in, so let me answer those because that's the way this works. You ask questions, I answer them. And by the way, we're not going to stay here all night. As long as there's questions coming in, I'll answer them. But, I got food to cook for my wife and things to stick in a bowl for my dog. Let's see what I've got. Have we thought about making sure more shoes available in child baby sizes? That's from Bloodhound 0827. And the answer is yes. And I don't have an ETA for when we're going to be doing that. If you have specific requests about what style of shoe you're looking for or how low, what size you want us to go down to, submit that at xeroshoes.com/feedback. In fact, I'm going to put that in here. Suggestions, submit them at xeroshoes.com/feedback, and we will take care of that. Let's see what else we have. Oh, look, that came in there twice. I get it. Let's see what else do we get. Chris Porter gave us some emoticons emojis that I can't see. What's the first one? I don't know. Both shoes? Okay. Jason, hey, can you make some Xero shoes with built-in Naboso insoles? Probably not, to be honest. And the reason, as much as we love the Naboso insoles, and we do, there are people who don't want those. So for us to include those, in addition to raising the price of the shoes, obviously, it would limit the number of people who would be interested in that product. So it's probably not going to happen, but that doesn't mean it won't. I'm just saying probably not. Submit that at xeroshoes.com/feedback, and we'll see where that goes. Blake, water-specific shoe, other than the, where's one? Oh, here. Nope, that's not it. I don't have one here. Our Aqua X Sport is a water specific shoe, if you will. It's a water trail shoe. If you're looking for something more than depends on what you mean by water specific. So most people are using the Aqua X Sport as a water specific shoe. But if you don't think that fits the bill, let me know what you're looking for. New sandal styles. Those are coming out. I don't know if we have one coming out this spring, but we have a bunch that we're working on that are really, really cool. So we will be releasing those as they happen. Not surprisingly, sandals sell better in spring and summer, so we're not releasing any now. And I don't remember if we have any for spring of 23 or not, but we definitely have a bunch for spring of 24. I know that sounds crazy, but it just takes time to develop these things. We'll be releasing more colors for the Forza Trainer. That's a great question, and I don't store that info in my head, so I don't know. I know I saw some in the product development room, but I'm not sure when they're coming out. If you have specific colors that you're thinking of, again, Stephen, go submit those at xeroshoes.com/feedback. Jethro, how is it likely that Xero Shoes and minimalist barefoot shoes in general will come down in price compared with traditional shoes? What needs to change? Well, first of all, ours are already less expensive than anything that's comparable, and comparable is the key word, because you can buy cheaper barefoot shoes on Amazon, but they don't last very long. So with our 5,000-mile sole warranty, ours are less expensive on a net cost basis than even most traditional shoes. And they're not traditional. There's what people call normal. This is traditional. This is what people have been doing since the beginning of people. The modern athletic shoe is a 50-year-old invention. That's a whole other conversation. But point being, the only way things come really down in price is when you're making millions of pairs of something a year. And we are not there yet. But we are, again, the net cost of Xero shoes is lower than other minimalist and barefoot shoes, and even lower than some quote traditional shoes as well. So that's the simplest thing I can say about that. Bloodhound says, again, I've successfully converted my dad to Xero shoes. He asked for a pair for Christmas. Nice job. Thank you. Chris Porter, have you started any wear testing for the safety shoe? No, we're still in development for that. So that's a protective toe and still has some, something so you can step on a ladder or a shovel, and a bunch of other features as well. We're still in development on that one. We've got someone working on that full time because it's the number one request we get. So, but we haven't started wear testing for that yet. We're not quite there yet. So what else can I say? By the way, for those of you who are new to Xero Shoes, let me just do the world's fastest tour about why everyone's here and what we're doing. So we're all about letting your feet do what's natural. I don't know if you know this, but a quarter of the bones and joints of your entire body are in your feet and ankles. You have about 260 bones in your body, and about over 50 of those are in your feet and ankles. Bones and joints are made for moving. Your feet are supposed to move for balance, agility, and mobility. If you don't let those bones and joints move, that function, balance, agility, mobility, tries unsuccessfully to move upstream into your ankle, your knee, your hip, your back. That's a problem. So what we want to do is make shoes that let your feet do their job so the rest of your body can do its job. Now, one of the other jobs that your feet have is feeling things. You have 200,000 nerve endings in the soles of your feet. Not an accident. It's so it's so you can feel things and know how to respond to what you're stepping on or in. So there's one part of that, what you feel, where it's just a reflex. Information goes to the base of your spine, right back down. You step on a bee, you don't have to think about it, your foot comes right off. But there's other parts where your brain is getting all this information to help you have better balance, agility, and mobility. And so if you can't feel anything, like if you have something this thick, you can't feel through all that foam. And that foam, by the way, doesn't cushion your body properly. That's a whole other story. But let's just talk about your brain getting information. So we want to make shoes that give you the protection you want and need, traction you want and need, but also that ground feedback that you need to have better ability, agility, balance, mobility, etc. So how do we do all that? A wider foot-shaped toe box, your toes can spread. Squeezing your toes together means you can't actually effectively move your feet properly. Bad for balance too. You don't do push-ups like this, you do push-ups like this. So same idea with your toes. Low to the ground for balance and agility. We don't have a thing called heel lift, which messes with your posture. We don't have a thing called toe spring that keeps your toes permanently pulled up towards your knees. That's not good. That messes with your gait. Really, really flexible in pretty much every direction you can think of. This is actually really great for travel too, by the way. Low to the ground, I said, for balance and agility. Soles give you traction and protection and grip, but also that ground feedback that you need. And our soles are backed with a 5,000-mile sole warranty. And Xero shoes are typically so lightweight compared to anything else that you'll barely know you're wearing them. We've literally had people who say they went to bed still wearing their Xero shoes because they forgot they had them on. So that's what we do here. And we have a complete line of shoes, boots, and sandals that people use for both casual and performance use. And they wear our shoes for everything you can think of. Walk on the beach, climbing Kilimanjaro, playing basketball, tennis, pickleball, weightlifting, doing CrossFit, you name it. And we have something for that. And that's the gist of what we do. All right, some questions came in. Jay Mull says, men's wellies, rubber boots too. We're working on that. Jethro, Chelsea boots and smart casual shoes also. You need to be a little more specific about smart casual, but I will tell you, we have two casual and a dress casual shoe coming out in the spring that are gorgeous, that have gotten tremendous response. We're very excited for. But what you can do, JML says, I love boots with extra grip sole, waterproof inside zip for quick off. What you can do is submit that request with at xeroshoes.com/feedback. Just notice above where I said suggestions, go to xeroshoes.com/feedback. And ideally, if you can link us to something that's similar to what you're talking about, that's really, really helpful. Chelsea boot, Jethro, by the way, we had Chelsea boots for men. They didn't sell very well. People who got them loved them, but they just didn't sell that well. And so we just had to kind of back off from that, but we are looking into that again. We'll try to figure out a way to do that. Let's see. Christian, what's your opinion on toe spacers? Do they correct anything over time? I don't use them personally because I don't need them personally, but we know a lot of people who've responded really, really well to them. And if you want to see what happens over time, I don't know of almost any intervention that works for 100% of the people. I don't know your specific situation, so I can't give you specific advice about you without seeing your feet. And even if I saw your feet, I'd want to refer you to someone who makes those. So if you go to correcttoes.com or you go to the Neboso website, because they make them as well, I would talk to both of them and see what you discover about that. We do make the shoes wide enough, or depending on your feet, our shoes and our sandals often wide enough that you can get toe spacers in there as well. What's the best shoe for playing video games? Ooh, that's an interesting one. We have a bunch of e-racers who swear by the HFS and the Forza Runner. I would also recommend the Speed Force. Do we have one up here? Yep. Speed Force, here's a black version, because it's our closest thing to barefoot. So it's got a thinner sole, it's more flexible, it's lighter weight as well. So you're going to get that great ground feedback. We have people who play Dance Dance Revolution, actually world champions in Dance Dance Revolution. Some are in the HFS, some are in the Prio, which is over there, and some are in the Speed Force. So all of those are really, really good. And that's what I would recommend. All right, what else did I get? It's a shame regarding Chelsea boots. It's a shame whenever we have a product that doesn't sell really well, because every product we've ever had that didn't sell really well was like a favorite among people in the office and people who got it on their feet. Sometimes it's just one of those things with footwear where things will sell better if people can go experience them first rather than just see them online. Because like we made a boat shoe. We called it Boaty McBoat Shoe. And if you know the reference, then that's a fun one. It came from a contest in the UK for naming a boat. And a favorite here, total favorite. But there are a lot of boat shoes you can get for like $30. This goes back to the question about what does it take to make something inexpensive? Well, first of all, you need to use crappy components. It's another thing. If you the crappier the components you use, the cheaper you can make something, and we refuse to do that. And the second thing is and just volume. So you go to LLB and you can find a $40 boat shoe. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. And ours was like 60 or maybe 70. I don't remember how much it was. Way more comfortable than any boat shoe. In fact, it was more comfortable than many of the other shoes we've ever made because it was just so moccasin-like and just really, really delightful. But people couldn't wrap their brain around, the extra $20 or $30 without feeling the difference between our boat shoe and a normal boat shoe that squeezes your toes together, requires you to break it in, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe we'll be able to revisit that at some point. We actually have something we're developing for next year that is not a boat shoe per se, but is another one of those kind of casual shoes like that one that we're fingers are really crossed. I tried it on the other day. It's awesome. All right. What else can I say? Any other questions? No other questions. So a couple of reminders, just again, the book Born to Run 2 from Chris McDougall, who wrote Born to Run, and Eric Orton, his co-author for Born to Run 2 and his running coach all along the way. This is the ultimate training guide. It is a beautiful, beautiful book about everything you need to know, not just to be a happier, healthier runner, but to be happier and healthier in general, I would contend. We have exclusive signed copies on our website. They are, wait, I'm going to put this here. They are, that's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, wait, that is what I wanted. Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. And you can get a exclusive signed copy of this book at xeroshoes.com/born2run. And when you buy a copy, you will also, if you buy a pair of Xero Shoes at the same time, we'll give you 10% off that pair of Xero Shoes. One other announcement, or two other things. Christmas is upon us. I don't know that we can get something to you in time for Christmas. I mean, if you order it like today and you pay for overnight shipping, possibly, but you can also get things on Amazon because I think they're going to give you like till like Thursday to be able to get something by Christmas time. So see what you can find there. And of course, you can just get a Xero Shoes gift certificate for someone who you know and love. If you don't know what size they are or what they want, just go to xeroshoes.com, look up gift certificates, and you will find that there as well. So those are a couple of announcements. I'm going to keep that one up there because that's a real fun one. All right, a couple of other comments or questions came in. Let's see what I got. JML says Chelsea boots are tricky because there are no laces to tighten the fit. Yeah, exactly. It's what's referred to as a dead fit. So if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. And that is definitely a challenge. Bloodhound, I already have the Alpine. How does the Denver leather differ? The Alpine is a fully waterproof. Well, here, I'll grab one of each. Okay. So you can see the Alpine is higher than the Denver leather. The Alpine has our sort of iconic adjustable instep and midfoot straps. It has a much beefier, it's kind of hard to see, it's kind of beefier tread because it's designed to be a fully waterproof snow boot. So it has a gusseted tongue. It has a fully seam sealed inner membrane. So it's a waterproof snow boot. Best thing I can say, lightweight waterproof snow boot. The Denver leather, the leather is of course water resistant, and you can treat it to make it even more waterproof. It doesn't have the gusseted tongue, so it's not sealed through here. It doesn't have a fully waterproof membrane. What it does, it's a cold weather boot. It's the best way I can say it. So it has a flannel lining, it has a heat reflective insole, crazy lightweight and flexible. And of course, since it's leather, it'll mold to your foot. So those are the differences between the Denver leather and the Alpine. Both wonderful, wonderful products, different purpose. In fact, we had someone who was walking his dog in this the other day when it was snowy here in Colorado, and then dropped off his dog and went on a 5-mile run wearing this shoe. So something you can do. Although we've had people run and do crazy things in the Denver as well. But obviously, and just a more elegant style, if you will. So this is going to look great with a pair of jeans or, a pair of whatever things you wear that would look great with. And this is a whole different story. So I hope that answers your question. I'm going to put these back. Okay, those are all the questions. Question. Ever considered making a basketball specific shoe? I've seen the knees over toes guy playing in the Prio. He plays in the Prio. He plays in the HFS. We just got him the Forza trainer, which he also really liked apparently. And at least I think we got it to him. Let's just say the answer is yes. In fact, we have a WNBA player who emailed us years ago and said, I've been wearing your sandals when I'm off the court and my feet and ankles have become indestructible. And then we made a shoe that was sort of a prototype basketball shoe, didn't fit her perfectly. And her reply was, I couldn't sprain my ankle in these if you paid me to, but they're not the right size for me. All I can say is it's something that we are working on. And there's some people coming into town over the next couple of weeks that are very, very interesting that we're working on that project with. And I will have more information about that moving forward. Bilal, is there an ebook you can recommend with exercises to build foot strength? Yeah, I've got one coming out. It's called the Running Injury Reduction Program. So check this out. There's research from Dr. Isabel Sacco where she took runners and gave half the group an 8-week foot exercise program. And then over the course of the year-long study, the people who did that exercise program had a 250% lower risk of injury than the people who didn't do the exercise program. Now, I'm going to give you, and Bilal, this is an answer for you as well. There's another study from Dr. Sarah Ridge showing that just walking in a minimalist shoe build foot strength over 8 weeks as much as doing that exercise program. Now, the researcher, the lead researcher, Sarah Ridge, said that you should get the same benefits from Xero Shoes as the shoes she used in that study. So one thing you can do is just walk around, spend more time walking in something like, the Speed Force or the Prio or almost any of our shoes. But the more performance friendly ones, the HFS, the Forza Runner, the Prio, the Speed Force, those are kind of the biggies, but almost any of them, the 360, what else do we have? Pretty much anything we have. That will help you. But if you're looking for other specific exercises, make sure you're subscribed to our newsletter. Go to xeroshoes.com/newsletter. And in about a week, maybe 2 weeks, I'll be announcing the ebook, the Running Injury Reduction Program, which includes that foot strengthening exercise plan that they used in both of those studies. Otherwise, just do a search for Foot Exercises BYU, stands for Brigham Young University, because that's where Sarah Ridge was when she did her original research. You'll find some things there. All right, let's see what else we have here. A bunch of things come in. Denver boots are still awesome for snow shoveling. They hold up as long as you're not under a foot of snow. I can see how that would work. How much do I need to invest in order to design my own Xero shoe? That's a very interesting question. It's not about investing because we're not currently taking investors. And if you want to design something from scratch, that's a whole other story. We can talk about that. If you're looking for a specific color of an existing shoe, or a crazy size, like a size 17 or 18, then that's a whole other conversation. But feel free to, drop us an email. Just use our contact. Just contact us. Go to xeroshoes.com/contact. Drop us an email with what you're thinking. I'll give you the answer. Bilal, Katie Bowman, Whole Body Barefoot, and Kelly Start, Ready to Run. Oh yeah, those are 2 books. That's for Bilal. Those are 2 books that have some great exercises for strengthening your feet. I was disappointed to find the Colorado discontinued, Ian says. Will it or something like it be coming back anytime soon? Yes. I don't have the date for you because I don't store that in my head anymore. We have too many products for me to do that. But the updated version of that product is gorgeous and way, way better than the Colorado. So you'll be happy when you see that. Zach says steel toe boots or composite toe boots. That came up a little bit earlier. Something we're working on, the most number one request that we get. We have someone working on that full time. I don't have an ETA. This is not going to be too surprising that to make something that's a really good, sturdy work boot that's giving you the protection you need and still gives you that natural movement that's most important and enough ground feedback to be helpful. Those are a lot of things where the Venn diagram does not overlap. And so to make that Venn diagram overlap is a challenge, and it's something that we are working on very diligently. Can you create a sandal from the Prio or the Speed Force? Well, that's kind of like our Genesis, really. I mean, the Genesis is using a very similar sole to this, but it's just, a sandal. And the Aqua Cloud, same thing. For the Prio, the closest thing is like our Z Trail, which is right there. And there's the Genesis right below it. So those are pretty close. I mean, I got to tell you, the way we developed the Speed Force, and by the way, we have a new version of this coming out next year with a much cooler, more elegant version of the upper design. You'll see that. In fact, we're going to ask you we're going to be submitting a poll about new colors and showing off the new design in a little while. You'll probably get that if you're on our newsletter list, so you can see what you think. Anyway, the way we developed the shoe was with the help of our friend Mike Freeton, who was at Nike for 30 years or so. And this is based on a 500-year-old footwear design where you have one panel here, and the tongue becomes the sole, becomes the heel. And so you literally can sew that together in like 10 minutes once you have the pattern on a sewing machine. And it was like this incredible little house slipper kind of thing. And then I took one of our do-it-yourself kits and I just put that on top or underneath, I guess, that little sewn together shoe. And me and a couple other runners, we put that on and went for a run. It was like, holy crap, that's amazing. And that's how we developed the Speed Force. So this is fundamentally just a variation of our Genesis sole, just wraps around a little more with an upper on it. So there you go. Do with that what you will. Let's see. Does the Prio All Day have a minimalist sole? Depends on how you're defining minimalist, but everything we make has a minimalist sole. So this is about a 6mm sole with a slip-resistant compound and design. So yes, I mean, crap, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. I was going to roll this up. Wait, there we go. But still, just as flexible, just as lightweight as everything else we make. So yeah, we don't make anything that isn't minimalist or barefoot, and the Prio All Day fits in that. This is designed for like restaurant workers, hospital workers, anybody who needs something slip resistant. And, and also what's the word I'm looking for? Liquid resistant because of the leather upper. It's not fully seam sealed. It's not waterproof, but it will be resistant because it's not going to have something that will absorb whatever those things are that might fall on you. I hope that answers that. Okay, what else? Let's see. Do I recommend the Mesa Trail as a door to trail for long distance trail runs, hikes with significant sections of road? Yeah. So, I forgot to mention this. So, Born to Run 2, Chris and Eric. Chris and Eric have never promoted a shoe or a brand ever until now. And we are now partnering with them. So they're recommending their two favorite shoes. Well, they have a couple, but their favorite shoes are the HFS. Wait, am I getting this right? I got to remember. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, I'm wrong. The Zelen, which do I have one of those up here? Yeah. So the Zelen, which is a Czech word that means green because all the upper comes from recycled components and the outsole is treated with something to make it more biodegradable in landfills. So the Zelen was one of their favorites. The Mesa Trail is their second favorite. Chris put that shoe on and wore nothing else for the next 2 months, running on roads, running on trails, just doing everything in it. And but they also now love the Forza Runner as well. Basically, they've tried on almost everything I sent them and go, this is one of my favorite shoes. So yes, is what I can say is that they're big fans of the Mesa Trail for everything that you just described. Jethro, which A-list celebrity would you most like to see wearing your shoes? I can think of a bunch. Look, I'll tell you one of my favorites. She's already been seen wearing our shoes. We just can't actively promote it. So I'm not sure if I'm even legally. Oh, no, I can say this. I'll do it this way. dailymail.co.uk showed pictures of Billie Eilish in our shoes. Let's just leave it at that. So, but I'm thinking, boy, there's a lot that I can think of who'd be really, really good. Come on. I can do it. Ryan Reynolds would be a no-brainer. And Ryan, if you didn't see Welcome to Wrexham with Ryan Reynolds, and why am I so bad with names right now? And come on, the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Rob McElhenney. Either of those guys would be awesome. But I mean, frankly, any A-list celebrity. Look, we already have another A-list celebrity. Ewan McGregor is in our shoes all the time. If you look carefully, when there's some videos of him training for the Star Wars film that he was in, you see him in the HFS. So that's another one that's a really good one. Who else have we heard? We had a couple of rap guys who were wearing our shoes. We got some basketball players wearing our shoes. There's any A-list celebrity would be awesome. JML says, I have the Aqua Export Mesa Trail 1 and 2, Terraflex 2s. They're all good for all surfaces. I use them for hiking in all kinds of terrain. That's going back to Bilal, I think. And Miss Poet, do you guys make house slippers? Coming out in the spring. There you go. Let's see. The Aqua Export is the lightest, but it's meant for swim runs, so they let sand and dirt in. That's true. Terraflex is the sturdiest, most padded, so it can be a bit hot in hot climates, which brings us to the Mesa Trail, which he says, great. Mesa Trails are great overall trail shoes between those two. And Jethro says, cool. So thank you guys for answering questions for me without me having to do that. Oh boy, oh boy. What else? Again, grab a copy of Born to Run 2. In the spring, by the way, we are coming out with limited edition Born to Run shoes, Born to Run Xero shoes. It's going to be the Zelen and the Mesa Trail with some special colors just for Born to Run. And a big chunk of the money that we make from those shoes is going to go to support the Tarahumara Indians, or the Tarahumara tribe in Mexico, which we are very, very excited about. What else? Like it says in the caption below, if you go to xeroshoes.com/born-to-run, you'll find out all about the book. You'll find out about getting an exclusive signed copy and how to get 10% off a pair of Xero shoes if you place that in the same order. And also, Chris and Eric are doing a thing called the Born to Run Reboot, where they're walking through sections of the book and giving you advice real time. It's a live event just like this about how to become a happier, healthier human being, including being a runner. And we just did the first one of those last week. I think it was last week. I have no sense of time anymore. And we're going to be doing this every month for the next few months. And then they're doing a bunch of Q&A on top of that. So you're going to be seeing a lot more content from Chris and Eric about how to be a happier, healthier human being and runner coming out in the very near future. We could not be happier having them as our partners and promoting us. I'll tell you, it's kind of funny. In the early days, back in 2009, 2010, we used to joke that Chris was our unofficial marketing department because whenever he would go into a book signing for Born to Run, we would see a lift in sales for our do-it-yourself sandal kit. And then I came up with the idea. I made bookmarks that were promoting us. And I sent out like 50,000 bookmarks to Xero Shoes customers to go put them in copies of Born to Run and any other book that was about minimalist running or minimalist shoes or barefoot running or anything like that. So it's a little guerrilla project. It was really, really fun. We had a good time. And now to have Chris and Eric actually sort of part of our marketing team because they believe in what we're doing so strongly. And there's a video about that on our website, by the way. If you go to, wait, I'm going to find out where to go and find that. I'm going to tell you, xeroshoes.com. It's on the blog, I'm pretty sure. Let me find it really quickly, and then I'm going to put that link in the chat. Let's see. Come on. I knew it was here somewhere. Oh, I'm going to have to find that. Or maybe it's just on YouTube. I'm going to find that at some point and post it. Wait, let me find. I'm going to do that right now. It's on YouTube. There's a video that they made. It's about why they like Xero Shoes. Here we go. I'm going to give you this link. Nope, I don't want to add the title and description. I want a shareable link. Now I'm going to post it here. Here's a little thing. I'm going to put this in the chat of just here, Chris McDougall and Eric Orton talk about Xero Shoes. Go check that out. All righty. Let's see. And Bilal says, read Born to Run 2 when it first came out in the UK. Really recommend reading. I agree. Born to Run 2 also includes a training program with a link to videos for foot exercises. Thank you for reminding me. Brain damage. Bilal, if you sign up with the Training Peaks app with the free Born to Run program, you get the link to the videos for the exercises. That's FYI. So yeah, too many things in my head at this time pre-Christmas. All right, let me kind of start bringing it in for a close, if you will. If you got something else you want to ask or say, type it in. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of wrap it up with just a few reminders. Christmas is upon us. First of all, happy holidays to everybody, whichever holiday you happen to celebrate. Christmas and Hanukkah and Festivus and Kwanzaa and Festivus for the rest of us. And whatever, and of course, New Year's, although it's a different New Year for people who use different calendars, but happy one of those to everybody. In other words, enjoy the season. Enjoy the fact that after tomorrow, the days are going to start getting longer here in the Northern Hemisphere. Can't wait. Jamal knows me really well by asking what's for dinner tonight. And I didn't plan it. It was Thai food the other day. I did pad see. Ooh, I'm going to make pad woon sen tonight because I have some cabbage that I need to use and I've got the noodles to make it. So tonight is pad woon sen night. And last night was comfort food night. It was nachos. So we made nachos. Every Sunday night, it's homemade pizza at the Sashen Phoenix household. And Matthew asked if we ever thought about basketball shoes, and the answer is yes. And I talked about this a little while ago. I'm actually meeting with some guys in the NBA next week and the week after because there's a bunch of trainers for really good NBA teams who are big fans of ours, and they're wearing our shoes, and they have a bunch of players wearing our shoes when they're in the gym, and we've developed something, and we're talking to them. So, by the way, that's a product where you can't release it unless you have, back to the question about A-list celebrities, you can't release a shoe for basketball, football, soccer, tennis, golf, where without getting buy-in from very, very high-level athletes in those sports. Because what happens is, it filters down from them to kids and then comes back up the chain, if you will. And so we actually had someone in the NBA say, if you could, like a manager, say, if you could make a shoe that reduces injury and improves performance, we got a bunch of people who want to be involved in this. And I said, well, we've already done that, but we'll do it again. So that's what we're working on. Rugby is another interesting one. Rugby and soccer, both very similar. Rugby, by the way, I had never seen a international level rugby match in my life until we got invited to one. It was US versus Colombia. And I got to tell you, if you've never watched a live rugby match, go do it. Most exciting thing I've ever seen. Every one of those guys on that field could walk up to Mike Tyson and just flick him in the nose, and Tyson would back down. These guys were mind-blowing athletes, huge, fast, willing to get the crap kicked out of them like I've never seen before. I mean, just very, very exciting, I just got to say. So, but same thing, in fact, it was interesting when we were at the rugby match, all the players were wearing whatever shoe they wanted. So it was very clear that they had choices. In some sports, not the same. What's the best road running Xero shoe? Yeah, it's the shoe you happen to be wearing. The shoes that we make explicitly for road running, the HFS, the Speed Force, the Zelen, and the Forza Runner. But we also have a lot of people who road run in the Prio. But we made the following shoes are lighter than the Prio: the HFS, the Zelen, and the Forza Runner. And then if you don't know, I'm a competitive sprinter. I'm a 60-year-old Masters All-American sprinter. Got my first indoor track meet coming up in 3 weeks. Can't wait. And I run and train in the Speed Force. There's that. If the basketball shoes happens, please make your great durable shoe extra thick so I can play on the outpost courts longer in Hawaii. I like the way you think. So we'll see what we can do. We can't make things too thick because A, you want things to be light enough. B, you want to keep that natural movement thing going on. And you still need feedback to tell your brain how to move your body best. Do we make work shoes? Miss Poet asks. We are developing we're developing a work boot is the best thing I could say. What I would recommend, Miss Poet, is go to xeroshoes.com/feedback and leave your suggestions about what you're looking for, what you would want. And if you can point us to a link that shows something similar to what you're talking about, but that isn't, minimalist/barefoot, that would be really helpful. J Mel says, run like the wind at the meet. Hey, look, I don't remember what the All-American time is, but I'm going to look this up. Masters, let me do this differently. Masters track All-American standards. I'm going to tell you what I need to run. So for the indoor 60 meters, which is what they will have at that race, there's the women's Masters women, like the Master men. Okay, I'm 60 years old, so I've got to run. Oh my God, piece of cake! Holy crap! To be an All-American, I just need to run an 8.9. And the last time I was running 8.2, 8.3. So I'm pretty optimistic that I'm going to be an All-American again once I have my first meet in just a couple of weeks. 8.9, man, that seems like a no-brainer. Fingers crossed. So you never know. All right, where am I? I just got lost over here having too much fun looking up that track meet. Oh, yeah. Got to get back to the right spot on my computer so I can talk to you guys again. So yeah, I don't need to run like the wind. I just need to run like a pretty good breeze. No, at an All-American time. My goal really is to hit the All-American time for the age group behind me. So the age group behind me, that time was 8.5, and I was running 8.2, 8.3 a couple of years ago. So, you get slower as you get older, but hopefully, wait, did I read it right? Yeah, 8.9. Holy crap. All right, fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. Do I make shoes for babies and toddlers? Bilal asked. Not yet. What I would recommend is that you go to xeroshoes.com/feedback and leave that as a request and let us know how far down the size curve you want us to go. Matthew, until the official Xero Shoes B-ball happens, do you recommend getting the Prio SR from basketball? That's a really good question. It's a leather shoe, so it's going to be a little hot. We got people who are playing ball in the 360. Where'd it go? In the 360 and in the Forza Trainer as well, because they give you great lateral support. So those are the two that I would recommend you try. And did I miss anything? Feels like a no trainer. I like it. No brainer, no trainer. I like the way you think. That was about my comment about a no brainer for hitting an 8.9. I can't believe, man, I'd have to be crazy. In fact, wait, I was running. Yeah, I think I'm going to hit that without a problem. So that'll be fun. My goal in life as a sprinter is not to be the fastest guy in the world. I have two goals. One, I want to make it into the semifinals at an international meet, or quarterfinals in an international meet, semifinals at a national meet. And I just want to keep hitting the All-American times until I die. That's really my goal. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to give you a kind of going once, going twice. I'm going to do a few announcements while they're coming in. Or while I'm doing that, if questions come in, I'll answer those. Then we'll call it an evening. Let you get back to your evening, get back to mine. And so announcements. Again, like it has in the bottom, get a copy of Born to Run 2 and an exclusive autographed copy at a discount, and get a 10% off on a pair of Xero shoes if you buy those in the same order. Get a xeroshoes.com gift certificate or xeroshoes.eu gift certificate for people you know and love for Christmas. If you order like today and ask for overnight delivery, which would be crazy expensive, we can get you something in time. But I recommend if you want something between now and Christmas time, check out Amazon or Zappos and see what they can do and what they're promising. What else? Other announcements. Again, any comments or requests, go to xeroshoes.com/feedback. If you have any questions for our customer happiness team, I recommend using the phone app on your phone so that you can call them and get an answer to your questions rather than emailing and waiting for a response, because we're still getting a ton of emails and they're a little backed up on those. And let's see, other announcements. Those are the biggies. I know I'm forgetting something, but that's the way it is. Do we have a shoe with good traction? That's from Miss Poet. Depends on what you're doing. We have our slip resistant Prio all day slip resistant, but we also have the grip or the tread on. Got to reach for things on, like the Mesa Trail is a great thing, or on the come on, I can do it English, on the Alpine, our snow boot. I don't have the Excursion Fusion up here, our other hiking boots. They're not up on the wall behind me for some reason, but Mike Gabler, who just won Survivor, wore the Excursion Fusion for a lot of that. So hopefully that's helpful. What you can do is, again, Miss Poet, you can contact our customer happiness team, tell them what you're doing. They'll give you a great recommendation. Matthew says, great talk. Again, thanks for answering my questions. I'm looking forward to wearing the Alpines on your big bear trip in 2 weeks. Oh man, send photos and videos. When do we get a glimpse of the new shoes? They're coming out in spring, which means like late February, we think. And so I don't have samples here, or, if you've been on these calls before, you know that I can't keep a secret. So maybe, so let's see, since I do these every month, next time when we do this in January, we do this on the third Tuesday of every month. So the next one, I will give you I'll give you a little sneak preview of all the new stuff we have coming for the spring. You're going to be crazy excited about a lot of the stuff you're going to see, I promise. So, all right. I want to thank you again, as I say at the end of all these, because it's true every time. When Lena and I started this company a little over 13 years ago, off the floor of a corner of a spare bedroom, I got to tell you, we never imagined, I mean, not for a long time did we ever, in fact, up until like last week, I don't think we imagined we would be where we are today. We now have, over 70 people working for us. We have our whole product team and our accounting team and our marketing team, which is all over the place, and our just like there's all these people who are here to be helpful to you, to help you have a happier, healthier, stronger, more resilient, more agile body, starting feet first. And my wife says it best. There's no reason to have another shoe company in the world unless your shoes change people's lives. And we've heard that from so many people, either because we have something really comfortable because it's made to work the way human feet work, or it's literally, helped you run or walk or hike or play or do whatever it is you do, either pain-free, which I'm not legally able to say. I can't say that we make you pain-free, but we've heard people say that they're doing something without having issues for the first time in years or the first time ever. And all of us, I mean, everybody here at Xero Shoes, we could not be more grateful. We could not be happier to be helpful. And we just really can't wait to see what's next. So to that point, go out, have fun, and live life